Hey everyone, and welcome back to Fix and Cruise. Today we're diving deep into a crucial part of your car's drivetrain, the CV axle, sometimes called the half shaft. This component is essential for smooth power delivery to your wheels, allowing them to move independently when turning or going over bumps. We'll be looking at the common signs that indicate your CV axle might be failing and why catching these symptoms early can save you a lot of headache and money. Let's roll the clip and then we'll break it down together. Sit back and take a watch.
Today, we'll learn about the signs of a bad CV axle, which most also refer to as the half shaft. But to start, the CV axle helps transfer engine power to your wheels smoothly. It includes inner and outer CV joints and a CV boot. This setup allows the wheels to move freely when turning and going over bumps. You'll find the CV axle right behind the tires. Now, let's look into the symptoms of a bad one. Symptom number 1, clicking or popping noise. The inner CV joint in the car axle lets it flex and rotate to keep power going to your wheels. Over time, the rubber boot around this joint can wear out or tear, causing damage. A worn-out CV joint can make a clicking or popping sound, especially when you're turning, and you can usually tell which CV axle is acting up based on where the noise happens. If you hear clicking when you turn left, but not when you turn right, it's probably the CV axle on the left side of the car. This often happens when the outer CV joint is worn out. Symptom number 2, clunky noise, when driving and turning at the same time. If you hear a clunky noise while driving and turning together, it could mean there's a problem with the CV joints. These joints allow the axle to flex when you turn, transmitting power to the wheels smoothly. When they're worn or damaged, you might hear clunks as the metal parts rub or move unevenly. Sometimes, when you brake hard, worn CV joints can also cause a clunking noise. This happens because the joints are stressed during braking, causing them to shift or make noise. Symptom 3, vibration or knocking sound. When a CV joint fails, the axle can get damaged, lose its ability to absorb shock, and make the wheels turn less smoothly. This can cause vibrations or knocking sounds in the steering and chassis of the car. Symptom number 4, leaking CV axle boot. You'll often see grease on the inside of the tires, suspension parts, and the ground. This happens when dirt, moisture, and debris get into a damaged boot, causing it to not work correctly. Sometimes, if you catch a small leak early and don't hear clicking noises when turning, you can replace just the boot and add grease. This saves money compared to replacing the entire assembly. Symptom number 5, loss of power. A damaged axle can reduce power transfer from the transmission to the wheels. This means some engine power is lost due to problems in the CV axle instead of reaching the wheels. How much power is lost depends on how badly the axle is damaged. There you have it, the most noticeable sign of a bad CV axle. If you need to replace it, be prepared to spend at least around $300 to $500. We hope you find this video helpful, and if you do, make sure to like and subscribe so we can assist you. Fix it.
Alright, welcome back. That video from FixIt gave us a great overview of the CV axle and its symptoms. First off, remember how they explain the CV axle's job. It's essentially the bridge between your engine's power and your wheels, allowing them to move independently and smoothly, whether you're turning or going over rough terrain. The video highlighted 5 key symptoms, and let's dig a bit deeper into each. The first one, that clicking or popping noise, especially when turning. This is super common. Imagine the internal components of the CV joint. If the boot is torn and dirt gets in, or if it's just worn from age, those metal parts aren't meshing smoothly anymore. It's like gears grinding, creating that distinct clicking sound as the joint tries to articulate. Next, we had the clunky noise when driving and turning simultaneously. This often points to issues within the CV joints themselves. The video mentioned worn or damaged joints causing metal parts to rub unevenly, leading to those clunks. It also interestingly noted that hard braking can put stress on these joints, leading to similar noises. Then vibration or knocking sounds. When a CV joint truly starts failing, the entire axle can become unstable. It loses its ability to properly absorb shocks, leading to noticeable vibrations through the steering wheel and the entire chassis. It's a sign that the axle isn't performing its dampening function anymore. The fourth symptom, and often the earliest visual cue, is a leaking CV axle boot. That grease you might see splattered on your tires or suspension components, that's a huge red flag. The boot's job is to keep that vital grease in and keep dirt, water, and debris out. Once it tears, the joint quickly loses lubrication and gets contaminated, accelerating wear. The video wisely pointed out that if you catch a small leak early, before internal damage and clicking starts, sometimes you can just replace the boot and re-grease, saving you a full axle replacement. Finally, loss of power. This is a more severe symptom. If the CV axle is badly damaged, it can't efficiently transfer the engine's power to the wheels. You'll feel a noticeable decrease in acceleration or overall responsiveness, as some of that power is simply being lost within the failing axle assembly. Now for my critical take. The information provided by FixIt is accurate and covers the essential symptoms. However, it's crucial to emphasize the urgency of addressing these issues. A failing CV axle isn't just about noise or inconvenience, it's a significant safety concern. Or if a CV joint completely fails, it can lead to a sudden loss of drive, or worse, the axle could separate, potentially causing you to lose control of the vehicle, especially at higher speeds. That's a scenario no one wants to experience. While the video mentions the cost for replacement, which is a good estimate for parts and labor for a single axle, remember that many front-wheel drive vehicles have two CV axles, one for each front wheel. If one is bad, it's often a good idea to inspect the other closely, as they typically wear similarly. Also, the suggestion to just replace the boot and re-grease if caught early is a valuable tip. However, this is only viable if there's no clicking or popping noise, which indicates that the joint itself is still in good condition and hasn't been contaminated or worn down significantly. If you hear any clicking, even if the leak is small, the joint is likely already compromised, and a full replacement is usually the more reliable long-term solution. I'd also add that regular inspections are key. When you get your oil changed or tires rotated, ask your mechanic to quickly check your CV boots for any tears or grease leaks. A proactive approach can prevent a small, relatively inexpensive repair, like a boot replacement, from escalating into a much costlier and potentially dangerous axle failure. Don't ignore these sounds or visible leaks. Your car is telling you something important. Get it checked out by a trusted mechanic as soon as possible. So there you have it, the common signs of a bad CV axle and why they matter. Understanding these symptoms can help you identify problems early and keep your ride smooth and safe. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to Fix and Cruise for more automotive insights, and share it with someone who might benefit. A big thank you to FixIt for the original video content. You can find more of their helpful guides on their channel.